Welcome back to my play of Final Fantasy XIV. It is right now crisis mode for Ishgard. Ice out / Shiva did stupid things and the dragons are attacking and I'm freaking stressed out and we just need to continue this. So let's meet up with Alphinaud in Camp Dragonhead. It seems I was the swiftest abo. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host has yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about the camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what's afoot. I agree, but I'm also very wary of overstepping in the Ishgardian territory alignment places. Because they seem to have like a rule and be very difficult, and I do not want to be labeled a heretic again. But, you know, Alphinaud has authority. I'll follow him. Deceptic. Dragoon. Heretic scum! How dare they meddle with our divine protections! I shall rid our nation of the blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. Her followers? We need not fret overmuch. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. Okay, so that wasn't the only shield, because that looked not well, sir. Not well, sir. Gates of judgments are much more than mere doors. They are the utmost layers of Ishgard's magical wards. In our first line of defense can be, if our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. When I laid ice upon Iceheart, I felt my marrow freeze within my bones. Yeah. It would seem the heretic struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Science, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Isat led a force of her followers against our defenders, and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more about it back at camp. Sir Aymeric awaits you. Okay. The Worm's Roar. These quests are just sounding so ominous now. Lady Eyesight has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid, and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Horsefat will know where Sir Aymeric means to receive us. Oh, Lord Horse. I miss him. He is a stand-up fella. And not on top so many stairs. It's reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland tethers upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. Ah, but you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat you in the intercessory. In that room that you've been to a few times. Greetings, madam. Shall I show you inside? Thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Isette and the heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we have but recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alpino, I think it's more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estinian. May I present to you Ishgard as your dragoon? An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the order of dragoons. They are formidable warriors, all. Yet even among such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravinian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. If ever I was without equal, I am no longer. My fellow Azure Dragoon here will attest. Be at ease, Dabo. I did not come to challenge you this day. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Isette's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. 'Twould seem that Lady Isette and Divinians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg? One of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in our nation's history, though once defeated by the hero Haldrath, the beast said to have terrorized Kothis since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many of the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg, relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrath plucked from the beast's swamp skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of unfold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It's kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But though stout walls and sharp blades may suffer to discourage the heretics, the dragons are not a matter. There are individuals within the Dravinian horde whom an entire company of knights would labour to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Though the endless march of years the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our precision of time. And that is especially true for the great worms. They who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength, and for us to bolster our defences. And now, just as he seemed trying to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Eyesight is in league with the creature then? Of that we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covered the eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must need assess the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend on Ishgard's protections. This is a weakness the Divinians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander. Yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would not have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangements concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, you only stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concedes only Ishgard and Dravinia. Dravania? When the Eosian Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during the Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives on your private war? I make no attempt to defend our country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde will have little cause to linger, and most will return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Kothas would be buried in snow, and the land will become the sole province of beast and beastmen. Until the Gallians arrive, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Kothas. They would not even have to draw steel. Tactical. An imperial province sharing border with Modona. 7H. Very well, we will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may well have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Emmerich. Through the power of the eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not. I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you. And the eye itself is no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wherever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg I. He meant to hurl his horde against Danifin's collar and shatter the remaining wall that protects the city. There can be no doubt the worm has summoned his minions to war. Oof. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavour will at last provide an opportunity to bring the sister state of Eorzea together in a common cause. Sir Emmerich was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look of his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open the gates to outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes at something of a bittersweet victory. The day ahead promises to be interesting indeed. We ain't stopping yet. If we are to aid the Ishgardian in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Committed to the cause, in case I didn't say. Before proceeding, however, we must need return to the Rising Stone and make a report to the Antecedent. Aye, aye. Okay, let's see what Alphanot has to say in our quarters before we send the help again. So curious what the Grand Companies will say to aiding them when they have been so not aiding us. But also, have they been able to offer us aid in the middle of this gruesome war they've been having for, was it almost 1,000 years? So yeah, it's a very intricate situation, and I'm really interested in see how the diplomacy goes.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
Gonna be interesting. Committed to the cause. Volunteer dragon slayers. I forbid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediates for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leader to grant such support, I leave to Alphinaud. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may find for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of your own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowy fields of Kothas. It is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Arrow. Pray brief Slathbone of the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wings its way over our walls. I only hope that such preparations prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grip on the practical challenges we may encounter. Oh, will just the map totally changed for the next expansion? Like, since I know there are many expansions, but I do not know what they entail whatsoever. Just curious what the changes be. We are rather close to Kothas, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Stavo. I have 101 things to discuss with Slathborn. Go, Tataru. You are there. The woman we need to just fix all of the background. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Kothas, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as a temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soul, and I am certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official adventurers guild presence in this siege. That said, each adventurer, of course, is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant Toll. I dare say there's a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. Okie dokie. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. That we do. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I am not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Okay. I felt something was afoot. Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to that scuffle with the Empire out in the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Willred was there, with the fort that day. And I wanted to know if you've seen him since. Have you? We haven't seen him since? Darn it, I feared as much. No one's seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Willifred stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vaults in Uldor. And of course, half the braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Folk like to believe our company's a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more than the collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The one thing that binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all. That and steady pay. Now, compared to most other in this crew, Wilfred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being the guardian of Eosia, he meant it. A lad like him would not rub us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he'd noticed on the ledges. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, and there's a villain in the end of this trail. I stumbled on, and I bet me good eye it ain't a young Wilfred. Anyway, you've got a water wage, so I'll let you get on. I just thought someone should know. Be seeing you, Stavo. So we have a missing Wilfred. So Ishgard Seed sells swords to bolster their ranks. Though I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their reward. Ah, but I have pledged myself to guard Revenant's toll. Modest work though it is, I'm loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do, what to do... Talk to Slavborn. Or whoever is the contract with. Sell me blade to Ishgardians? Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay me fair share if the coin was good. I've worked one of them nights before, you know. Watched me like a hawk he did. Still, I'd put up with the worse than that for a heavy purse. Well, that's fair. Risk, reward. All that thing. Volunteer service in the defense of Ishgard. I think not. Dragons claim the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. It was to escape such fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of a fortune than huddle behind an icy wall. Yeah. There you are, Sabo. So, did you sway any hearts? 1 or 2? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slavborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant Soul's veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Oh, I've been so caught up with recruiting I almost forgot. There's been word from Alphino. Apparently the Alliance leader are convening in Uldar to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they requested your presence, as usual. Anyway, you'd best make your way to Uldar, or you'll be late. Alphino said he would meet you in the royal promenade. Aye, madam. I'm just gonna bring Midgard's own mini edition with me, because, you know, he is very sketchy. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent request for an audience have prompted a gathering in the council. Needless to say, I feel obliged to attend. The Alliance reader are already settled within. Let us join them, shall we? Let's. I want to witness this.
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Uldar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes, the free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords?
I started out like that.
Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
They're not in the alliance, though.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again.
I'm doing this as a raid, I guess. The rest of this is just talk.
If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard.
Brass blades?
Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Was she there all the time?
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Something is afoot. So let's go raid, I guess, then. Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of inestimable danger. But I fear we have left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lohort's Fentis Emeric to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision. As short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our role as Eorzea's guardians. Captain Ilred, what news? Then the assault is begun. We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durandare at the Steel Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights and thin the Dravinian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I'm able. Stabbo, I would have you and your adventurers allies bolster the defense of the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Marcellian at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us glory. Things just happening right now. Okay. So new dungeon or raid? I don't know. I feel like this should be like a raid. If a raid is a full party, as they say. More people needed for this. But wow. But we'll see. You are the appointed captain of the Salzburg contingent, then? Welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravinian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I've assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks. And for the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, a merely precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The willy serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in forces, they shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishers are slain. Okay. So no. I'm so confused. And I don't know how to say this, but this war, conflict, horrorness between Ishgard and the dragons, or Dravinian. I'm curious about it. How did it start? Who is to blame? Who are the Dravinian? Are they a beast tribe that's gone big, or are they like... We know Ishgardian people and have become friendly with them, so, you know, I'm on their side at the moment. I'm just curious if I should be, because this is a story I don't know. I'm very, very curious about it. But, like, they come and they just attack. Haven't been any, like, sentient talks that I've been privy to for this. So I'm... yeah. This is what I'm curious about. Do Garuda, since we have a few enemies. And she ended them all for me. Good girl. I'll do a Titan Smash. Okay. Then I return to him once I've done this skirmish, or is there more? Okay, there is more. On the opposite side. So great that I can just fly there. Can I fly here as well? Looks like it. Didn't step out far enough. I definitely didn't step out far enough. No. Do not need to attack another being. Oh, okay. Great tab. Ifrit melt him. Them. It. Report to Marcelin. Aye aye. Look at these cannons. That is terrifying. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements. Decimated, you say? Travanian devils. The scaly hearts be darned. Hold fast to your grief and cheer, my lady. We will avenge the passings of your fellows in the battle to come. Okay. Will that happen? But the what? The steps of faith. Siege. Oh. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know that it is what it is you are tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment, lie the steps of faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the Sea of Clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation of the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danaphen's collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outmost layer, that thrice-damned ice heart stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhinged upon the steps of faith. I am with. Are you with? I get it. They opened the bridge warding, but the city warding is still. But landing on the bridge, not what we want. Should the Dravanians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our tasks as defender to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. I'm getting it even more now. 3 yet remain, and we have dispatched our forces accordingly. I would ask you and your comrades to accompany our defenders at the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? The science of the 7th dawn. We could not well stand idly while the horde threatens the good people of Ishgard. Indeed. To do otherwise would go against all that Master Louis has taught us. As for where we may be most assistant, I think it's prudent we divide into 2 groups. Ida and I will join the rear guard. Right, if the dragons should reach us, we will be sure to give them what's for. Thank you, all of you. Please speak to me again when your preparations are complete, and together we shall stand against the Horde. For the Alliance! I trust you're ready then. Good. Come, let's make for the battlefield. It's level synced! It's a solo dungeon? I was not expecting this. I was so sure I was gonna gather my adventurer friends. Wow. Okay, let's do this. Oh. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. Hi, we can just be friends. Let's stop this war. We don't have to fight. Fight. Tancred, Lucia, adventure. Aww, so cool. We claim victory this day. Accept the fury in your heart and defend the bridge with your life's blood.
Let's finish this quickly, shall we?
Oh my...
Make it quick.
Look at this, it's cool. This is actually very cool. I did not see that in time. Oh! I saw a dragoon jumpy dumpy. Okay, so never stand in the middle. Unless that dragon moves. Oi, oi, oi! Well, you looking fierce, ain't ya? Barrier strength. Oh, shikes. Everyone fall back. Fall back now. No. Can't look behind when I run in this game.
Aoife, to me.
Stav of vicious offense. What are you casting? I'm the tank? I'm not the tank. Come on, give me a target again. Ow! I need heals! Medic! Sidewise strides. Barrier strength is going way down. What? The first ward has been breached? We're not doing well, sir. Fall back and regroup. The battle is not yet lost. I want to look behind when I run. Oh. We will see two things as that will fall back and help the others guard the ward.
No holding.
There is a tab issue. Yeah. You just roll, you. Oh. Oh no. We've got not even 10% of its health. This is rough.
This one'll sting.
Hi. I will take you out. I'm very confident in this. Okay, we've gotten a bit lower than I thought. We must defeat the champion at all costs. Yes, we do. We really do. Earthshaker, okay. And now it's untargetable. Untargetable. Oh, bullocks. Don't be in front of it, Stabbo. Barrier strength. We have one left. The second ward has fallen. Fall back. There is nothing left to be done here. We are maybe 50%. We've lost 2 out of 3. Oh. Damn it all. You mustn't lose heart. We can't outrun them all. Ida and I have matters here well in hand, Stabbo. You must go and see to the final ward. Barrier strength 100. Beanie and Wormblood? Who said that? Yeah. Enemy is not without weakness. Keep it up. Yeah. Fireball. Okay, barrier strength is at 100, and now... Body slam. $62! 40! 5 left. The final ward is weakened. Hurry, we must end this. I don't think we don't have much left. I think this is over. Fireball. Earthshaker. Oh. Oh, okay. This is gonna be it. What is a shield that keeps the holy sea? Even if it should cost us everything, we cannot suffice it to pass. I know. Doing what I can here. Damn, this infernal heat. I can help the heat with it in Ifrit. Alone, I beg you, grant us strength. So pretty. 5% left. Ishgard is in trouble. That sound is ominous. Come on, cannons. Pew pew. Come on. Don't let them retreat. The dragons, they are withdrawing. Victory is ours. Look at the dragoons. One of Nidhogg's greatest champions, slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why do you not join the minions and make of the battle slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Don't tease him. Mayhap you prefer to have the allies fight your battle for you. You have a girl to do your bidding, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Ishgard and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of a great worm, Nidhogg. And only your death will sate my lance. Sate my lance. Yahoo! Wow. That was so cool, just like actually fighting with them and speaking and having all the... Wow. This is so cool. And now what? We need to reinstate the wards. Can we reinstate the wards? Can we do magic? Stabbo. The dragons are routed, lest you wonder. The fight at the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my crystal braves were not found wanting. Come on, Olivia, Stabbo. True to your word, you arrived to aid us in an hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with proper courtesy. We have indeed achieved a victory of a singular importance. With the Dravinian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard is greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant to the Holy See, must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gaze against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles, against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire. But step by unfaltering step, we marched ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our process. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Illibred back to Uldar and reassign those braves whose squads suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Hall and share your tale with Minfilia in person. We will see to informing the other nation of what took place there. Do be sure to give our regards to Minfilia. Wow. Minfilia needs to know. No break until Minfilia knows. Because that would just be rude. Boop, boop. Still just so scary clicking that in case something horrible happens inside. Stabbo, welcome back. Elfinod sent word of the siege, and of course of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Stabbo. Thank you. Broken Bridges achievement. But we go on. You must be weary, Stabbo, and now may very well be your only chance to... You shouldn't have almost said it! Antecedent! A message from Uldar arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ulnamo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for their valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refused to employ their standing armies, preferred to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek a share in the glory of your triumph? But mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet up with the Ishgardian while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would represent a fine opportunity to press of Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Brida, and I for one am in no mood to carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such an occasion may bring a momentaneous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Tataru, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Descendant. And please let me know, is there anything else I can do? Curious, I've never known Tataru to sigh at such a request. Could aught be amiss? Go talk to her. Look for Tataru at her front desk, so she won't be at her front desk then. Surveying. Oh. Tataru is conspicuous by her absence. It took me that long to realize. Aren't you supposed to be in Ul'dah? Tataru, I believe she just stepped outside. No, I think on it she'd seem rather preoccupied. Search for Tataru in the toll. What's going on, darling? Oh, something the matter? Oh, Stabbo, I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing really. Well, it's nothing exactly. But it feels like nothing compared to towering trials and all the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Minfilia before things get any worse. You always know what to say, Stabbo. I'm glad we had this little chat. I am so glad to have talked this much to you. I'm gonna be a different outfit. Ah, pretty. I like this one. Yes, Tataru, you have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach the subject, what with all the recent excitement, but Stabbo made me realize there is no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask you for. I'm not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, you have certainly earned a rest. But I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, Antecedent. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers and the crystal braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Horribilda and Coltenant have been promoted to guard duty to fill our needs of competent warriors. And so it seems only right that I too should acquire the power to defend myself and others, more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Go, girl. Everybody should be able to defend themselves and others. Whoa, hey! That's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Miss Tataru so determined. Has aught befell her which I might help with? Antecedent? Ah, not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask of me? Ah, yes. Pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who wants to join us for escort duty was injured while out on patrol. But I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request another adventurer, of the capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Very well, I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. My thanks, Antecedent. I take my leave of you. Minister decision. An unexpected ambition. Oi! 2 quests? The power to defend oneself. Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think of it, I do recall Orionge mentioned that she had developed an interest in arcanima. Perhaps she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcaniskin in Limsa. Yes, that will be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey her to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Horribilda with a capable adventurer? Well, I am sorry to say that I have yet as been able to do so. Now I realize that you are more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a woman of your talents. But I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forgo rest and assist us in this matter? Generous to a fault, I thank you, Sabo. Now it seems only fair that I explain the importance of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea, taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we ask the adventurer in our service to serve as escorts. Horribilda and Coltenant were to act as two such escorts, was the third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose you upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Sabo. Horribilda will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. Which one do I do first? I want to get Tataru to training, and then I can escort the arcanima. She is already there. Okay, then we do Horribilda. Ah, Sabo, is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Huzzah! What did I tell you, cult? Our misfortune is become a blessing, an opportunity to serve alongside the Warrior of Light herself. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? True. True, but our mission is the same. Separated by malls, we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns, Stabo, we would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying South Shroud. He's waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate location to take his readings. In spirit, Stabo. In spirit. We shall be together every step of the way. Coolio. Tataru! We need to talk to Tataru. She's also at my Hearthstone, so... Tataru, 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 Tataru. Tataru! Here I come. Is she here though? Is she here though? Is Minfilia in the mistakenness that Tataru was not interested in arcanima? I doubt it. There she is, trying to get your own evening. Snappo, what are you doing here? I didn't mean for her to worry. That's the last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I am here. Don't you see? Taru. They are very difficult with names, but when they do make them double, they don't make it more difficult. That's something. Shall become a great and powerful arcanist, just like me. And now, at Mistress Trunchbull's behest, I must go and complete a special training exercise. Until we meet again! Good girl. Trunchbull, you be kind to her. But also make her good and powerful. Push her limits. See her potential. What's it called? Seize that fish? Wasn't that the saying? Seize the fish. I think so. Ah, if it isn't Stavo, what brings you to the guild? Tataru. So, you're acquainted with our newest member. Oh, an arcanist of your experience must see that her potential is somewhat lacking. Nevertheless, she... there we go. Audio bugged out. A simulated inspection of the 3 crates. Doubtless you recall receiving similar training under Kalicia's supervision. A thought occurs to me. Why not oversee Tataru's training yourself, given your relationship with the girl and your familiarity with the task? I think you're the ideal choice. You need only head to the cliff south. South of the surface gate as before, and observe her at a distance. Aww. I will be her Kalisha. That is cool. And I hope she doesn't take offense to that though. I hope I can explain to her the same way as Kalisha explained it to me. I'm also wondering if I would have got this quest if I was an arcanist or not. Maybe this is like a perk since I am arcanist. I wouldn't get this questline at all. She would want to become what I have as a main class, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, as you see a pirate spot where she met her shining jewel, for to bring her smuggler's land to naught came the lass whom none could fool. Beat 'em with the backdrafts, Gus, get them with the gust, deck 'em with the downburst, go, carbuncle, go! I like Tataru. Are those crates I spy? Oh, and this must be the true test. But we're ready for them, aren't we, Carbuncle? Are you? No, Carbuncle! That's not how a carbuncle is supposed to behave. Pet that one instead. Oh, no. Ooh, come back, carbuncle! Come back! Yeah. That didn't go particularly great. Oh, poor baby. I should have known you'd come, Stubble. You needn't say a word. Your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I will inform Mistress Trenchbull of my intention to withdraw from the guild. Arcanima, like so much else, is beyond me. You haven't tried everything yet, darling. I could see you as a healer. Ah, back so soon. How fared our fledgling arcanists? Abysmal, Mr. Trenchbull. Abysmally. As Stabalina will testify. I was wrong to become an arcanist. Wrong as usual. And completely and utterly unqualified, and sincerely apologize for wasting your time. Tataru. If that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We must all accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strength in the process. For example, your exceptional skill with numbers helped you gain a solid grasp of the fundamentals of arcanima. Were it not so, you would have struggled even to summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinions, the Scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? You're too kind, Mistress Trenchbull. Though I could not overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be discouraged. She wants to be able to defend and not be a burden. She isn't. Just how she expressed that she feels, and I'm gonna respect how she says it. As fetching as these garments are, I shall never don them again. But I can't go back to the Rising Souls without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That's if you don't mind accompanying me for a bit longer. Wonderful. Then to Costa del Sol we will go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident it'll pay off. To Costa del Sol we go, go, go. Hildebrand. If you know, you know. Yes, this is it. This is where the man at the door knew when she told me to look. There's a certain variety of clam which can be harvested this time of year in Bloodshaw. One which produces the most marvelous pearls. However, these clams are also coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in battle last time, let's be off. Off we be. Fly through that little divot there. So you are landing. Okay. That is a gorgeous looking sun hat. Wow, so you have your outfits, girly. Look at that hat. Amazing. What fortune! I've already found one. Would you be so kind as to keep watch while I work? This should only take a moment. Titan! Tataru! Garuda! Well fought, Stabber, well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. For me, I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls. So named for the reddish hue. They were treasured as wards against dark magics and in ancient times. I thought I might make charms for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they will always come home. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people. In a way, right? Well, I mustn't keep Flamine waiting. There's work to be done, and lots of it. Where to secure provisions for the science in Lominsen markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. Will you be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the Antecedent, and tell her that she needn't worry about me. Farewell, Stabbo, and thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about, until we meet again? What's that look about? Then we escort the researchers? Was it researchers? At least I can measure upper, downer, siders. That type. At last, the science woman designs to grace me with her presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Ishamha. Come, we are late enough as it is. I'm sorry someone got injured and we need to replenish our gods. No need to be cruel about it. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please, stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch of wild beasts. Okay. I am so sorry for existing. I see we have both completed our representative task. Representative? That I thought it said respective tasks. I just did not see how that word was there, but it is respective tasks. A satisfactory outcome. Though I could make one suggestion. You might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in the future. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, snake molt awaits. Shall we? I don't know. Might let you get eaten because this is buggersome. Bug-ir-zoom. Look at my doggy. Look at that. Can't remember if I've seen it on recordings yet. I got it from being trusted. Friendly. Swan with XIV. Right, about here, as before. I would also keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. And dispatch of them quietly. I'll just let you get eaten. I don't mind. Nope. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though perhaps you should come as no surprise. I'm not given to superstition. But there's a queer, almost blasphemous air hereabouts. Let's quit this place and return to Roots Lake. We have one more site to survey. Return? Return? Quite get how that's returning for us, but okay. As before, my guardian, pray leave me to my task and assure our safety. You better pray. I'll leave you to your safety. Mm-hmm. His daughter should prove invaluable to the gods. What is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of adamantoids on adamantoids while my back was turned? Quickly now, to camp tranquil. I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and offal. You know, next time I'll just let you, you know, be eaten. Then you won't have to smell anything anymore. You chose to paddle in the Ichor a while longer, I take it. No matter. I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a customary analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been measurable decreases in the ambient etheric concentration since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. You must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Ooze Forest. The ambient etheric concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? Don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now come along. Sure you don't want me to bathe before you do that? You should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take measurements. Yes, quite high, yet still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th astral era. Could presence of a primal account the difference, or is there something else? Something else? I expected a puff of an enemy. Puff. Something else. Cyan, come here, I need you. Wilfred! See? Fear not, my friends. Help has arrived. Why are you here? Why are you both here? There you are, Stabo. Hori and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return at the appointed hour. Please say he lives. Gutted like a hog, but not by one. These wounds were made with a blade. Doesn't like he put up much of a fight either. Nary mark on his sword or his shield. I have heard nothing of any Crystal Brave operations in this area. What causes Wolred to come here? What should we do? We will see to the Scholar's protection, Sabo. I and the boys' remains. You should return to the Rising Stones. The Ant and Sediment want to know what happened here. And so do I. Isn't he the guy from the Shroud who did the thieving or the spying for the Imperials? Am I misjudging him, who was sent to prison and then got out and wants to redeem himself? Is that him, or am I mistaking him? Because I'm so sad. He was finally on a path where he thrived and felt like doing something. And then to be cut down like this, and even with his comrades in a battle, like he would have felt a bigger part of. We will avenge him. If it is him or someone else, but it's just so sad if it is him. I was just getting that redeeming factor and was about to end up on the plus side. This is very sad. Very sadness. Just listening that the music doesn't change when I enter the headquarters, because still traumatized. And I miss Neuraxia. My friend one. Dabo, you have returned, and you seem troubled. Did the role of escort shave so? Well read. Entered, maybe by force. By the 12. How can that be? I will send word to Alphino at once. He will want to conduct a full investigation and send word to Wilfred's family. Gods. He was just a boy. Who would do this? And why? Yeah. Oh, welcome home. How did Tataru fare? I'm assuming she said. My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure, and while it did not end as she'd hoped, I suspect that it will prove to be valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. A time for every purpose. The recent events were heavily on our minds. We must needs set them aside for now. We are come to the defining moment in Eosian history. The grand commemoration of our joint defense of Ishgard. The first time in 15 long years that our people have stood side by side with our neighbours to the north to fight in common cause. This may mark the true rebirth of the Eosian alliance. Failing that, it should at the very least serve to bring our nations closer. We have every reason to raise our voices in celebration, do we not? We have bested Dravinian and Ashen both. Against desperate odds, we have fought and won. But the primal still plague us, and the Empire still plots our subjugation. And our triumphs, remarkable though they are, were bought at a terrible price. Brave adventurers and allies broken of the steps of faith, and before our eyes, in this very room, our dear friend Monbrida. This is the victory we have wrought, and it is as bitter ashes in my mouth. I would sooner stay here and invite those with more appetite to enjoy the feast in my stead. Alas, it is a royal banquet, and all of our allies will be in attendance. This is our duty to represent a united front, that we might serve as a beacon of hope to all. It seems I have no choice but to take my own advice. I instructed the others to meet us in Ildar, that we might make our grand entrance together. Unfortunately, I had to settle for leaving Tataru and Lamine a note. If they do not return quickly, they will have to settle for whatever leftovers I can smuggle out of the fragrant chamber. After the big soiree, Stavo. Where's a glass for me, eh? Or not? You don't look best pleased, lass. Something on your mind? I'm sorry to say. I'm very sorry. By the Navigator! Well, it's ended. Past. Gone? Damn it! They must have known they've been rumbled. I mean, odd. This past time we had this talk. After our last conversation, I got to thinking about where certain funds were coming from. So I had a dig around, on the quiet like, and sure enough, I found it. Seems a far bit of coins made its way into the Braves' coffer courtesy of a Dodo Consortium. A daft name for a business if I ever heard one. Which is what first gave me an inkling that something was right. So I went through the ledgers again, and found another half-dozen donations from organizations with stupid bloody names. Didn't take long to find the common thread. All owned by the Mirage Trust. Oh, and I'll give the bastard credit. He showed us up for the amateurs we are. Showed a calling us one as business, the bloody bribery consortium. I don't know what more he could have done to mock our rules on financial contributions. The gods only know how many men in the first and third are taken to Legis coin. But now we know, as some of them are, I'd wager me right. They're the ones what did well read. The earnest young fool had taken to asking the wrong kind of questions. Bound to attract some attention. He was, should have seen it all the time, but I didn't. God damn me. Still, I don't see what Telegi hopes to accomplish. He hid his schemes with all the care a drunk pizen into the wild. No, he's cleverer than this, so we need to be cleverer too. That's the only way we'll ever repay this debt of blood. We'll plunge every one of them, traitorous bastards, from our ranks. On that you have me word. Stabo, mind yourself when you're in Dar. We're heading into a storm. I can smell it. The kind that'll sweep a man overboard and drag him under before he knows it. And the royal banquet, the storm. Whatever else ailments will happen in Uldar. Maybe the gracing of Alliance's glass, who knows? We will see in the next episode. Please like and subscribe if that feels up to your floatsy. And I'll see you in the next episode, where we go to Uldar. Thanks for watching and stay out.